Hi, we're back talking about polynomial arithmetic, and I wanted just to go over a couple more examples of dividing polynomials. So let me start with this first one, and I'm going to go ahead and put this in a long division format so that it looks something like the following. Remember, the top of this fraction, the first thing is what goes under the bar, even if you're just dividing a couple numbers. So I'll put up here 4x cubed plus 2x squared minus x minus 18, all under, and x squared plus 1 on the outside. Okay. Now when we approach polynomials like this and we're doing the division, what we look at is the x term. So looking at my 4x cubed, what times x squared here is going to give me a 4x cubed so that when I subtract, I can eliminate those guys, just like you would when you're dividing numbers. So I can see that 4x would do it. 4x times x squared gives me the 4x cubed that I wish to subtract from that first term so that they eliminate each other. But I also have to multiply this 4x times the 1, and that gives me a 4x, and I'm going to line that up with my x term over here. So I'll put plus 4x. Now recall, let me put parentheses around this, and a minus sign that we're going to subtract. So don't forget to do that when you come to the next step. 4x cubed then minus 4x cubed, that's 0. The 2x squared comes down. Negative x, distribute that minus 4x gives me a minus 5x, and then I bring down my minus 18. And we take another step, proceeding in the same fashion. So what times x squared would give me 2x squared is my next question. And clearly just 2, so I'm going to put plus, and it's positive, 2. 2 times x squared, that gives me the 2x squared term that I'm looking for. I also have to multiply that 2 times this 1, so that gives me a plus 2, but don't forget that you're subtracting these guys. So 2x squared minus 2x squared is 0. Negative 5x squared comes down. Negative 18 minus 2 is negative 20. And notice now that what we have is an x term that is a degree less than what we have on the outside, that a degree less than the thing we were dividing by in the first place. So that means that this is the remainder. And we don't take it further from here as far as this part's concerned. What we have up here is the quotient. And on the outside, what we divide by, that's called the divisor. This whole thing on the outside, that's the divisor. Oops. Divisor. Okay. So when we're dividing, top divided by bottom, A divided by B, we always end up with the quotient plus the remainder over the divisor. So that I can say my division comes out to the following. Quotient plus remainder over divisor. I get 4x plus 2 plus negative 5x minus 20 all over my divisor, x squared plus 1. And let me rewrite that real quick just to include what I was doing in the first place. So now I can confidently say that 4x cubed plus 2x squared minus x minus 18 all divided by x squared plus 1 is equal to what I just wrote up there, 4x plus 2 plus, in fact, why don't I factor out that negative just to make it look a little prettier? So I'll say minus 5x plus 20 all over x squared plus 1. And again, what I'm ending up with over here is the quotient plus the remainder over the divisor. Now, how could I check that? Well, if this divided by that equals this, then this times that equals what I started with. A divided by B equals C, then C times B equals A. So if I multiply what I got by this divisor, I should end up with the numerator of the fraction that I started with, the dividend, in fact. So there is the solution, or the division of the first one. Now let me erase this and show the second example. All right. And I'll go ahead and erase this as well. Of course, feel free to fast forward until you get to what you're looking for. Sometimes when you fast forward, though, you miss a lot of personality. So you never know what's being said during this erasing time unless you watch what happens during the erasing time. But it's a total waste of time, it seems. So gosh, what a dilemma. Okay, so let's take a look at this guy. In the long division format, again, I'll just put it up here. Inside goes the numerator of the fraction. 2x to the fourth minus 3x cubed plus x squared minus 10. And on the outside, our divisor is x cubed plus x minus 5. And we'll proceed in the same way. So what times x cubed is going to give me 2x to the fourth? That one's pretty simple. And the answer, ooh, that's squeaky, is 2x. I think I'm going to have to transfer to a different marker here. That one's too squeaky for me. Okay, 2x times x cubed then is 2x to the fourth. Good. But then I have to multiply that 2x by these other terms in the divisor as well. 2x times x gives me a 2x cubed, or excuse me, squared. So I need to match that up with my squared term. So I'm going to put plus 2x squared here. And then 2x times negative 5 is negative 10x. I don't see an x term over there, so let me just kind of put it out to the side. Okay. Alternatively, you can always include all the powers of x if you put a coefficient of 0 in there for the x terms that are missing. So I could rewrite this. In fact, I'll do that just for a second. Instead of my minus 10 right here, let me put plus 0x just to show an x term and be able to line things up. And then I'll put my minus 10 there on the outside. Okay, if I do that, then I do have a place to put this minus 10x right there to line it up. Okay, don't forget we're subtracting all these guys when we get to the next step. 2x to the fourth minus 2x to the fourth is 0. That's what we wanted. Bring down our negative 3x cubed. X squared minus 2x squared is negative x squared. And 0, don't forget to distribute that negative, plus 10x is plus 10x, or positive 10x. Then bring down your minus 10. And continue. Okay, so what times x cubed gives me negative 3x cubed? Answer is negative 3. This is not always a binomial up here, by the way, in the quotient. It just depends on the particular problem. Negative 3 times x cubed is negative 3x cubed. Good. That's what I wanted to match it up. Still got to multiply by the other terms in the divisor. Minus 3x. Okay. Stick that right there. And a plus 15. All right. Put our parentheses. We're subtracting this whole business. And the first one goes to 0. That was the point. Bring down our negative x squared. 10x, distribute that negative, plus 3x is plus 13x. Negative 10 minus 15 is negative 25. And at this point, I notice that the polynomial that remains is a degree less than the divisor. So I'm going to stop there and call this the remainder. The quotient is up here. The divisor is right there. So I can confidently say that 2x to the fourth minus 3x plus x squared minus 10 divided by x cubed plus x minus 5 is equal to 2x minus 3 plus, here's the remainder over the divisor, negative x squared plus 13x minus 25 all over x cubed plus x minus 5. And again, the way to check is if I multiply this divisor by all of this stuff over here, I should get the numerator, the dividend. So give that a shot, check it out, and thanks for watching this. Thanks for watching me erase and do some work with polynomials.